I now have the booking form all set up so it's working in the browser and it's populating the tour name from within the booking form, and this is being populated by a method within our component. What I need to do when the user clicks the Submit button is show them a thank you page thanking them for submitting a booking. And I have a separate file set up for that. But since this drop-down menu within our form is really just returning a query, we don't need to use it as an instance-based component. So within this booking form file, I have it set up with a CF invoke tag. I'm going to move over to the booking form submit file where you can view that same component call, this time as an instance-based component, because I wanted to show you the difference between the two pieces of code. So here is our bookingtours.cfc file, which is actually this file here. And what we're doing is using the new keyword to instantiate a new object. So this is the CFC we're going to be working in. And this CFC is going to call the allTours method from within it and assign the values back to the tour listing variable. And that tour listing variable is a query called tour listing that's being used down within this section. Now, I really didn't need to get as complicated as this by using an instance-based component, because this component doesn't really work with any properties within it. Usually, you're going to use an instance-based component because it has properties. But I wanted to show you that you can call a component in either of the two ways, depending upon what you need from that component. Now my booking form submit I'll put into the browser, and this is known as a self-posting form. What I've done is I have the form on the page. I also have what the user is going to see as the thank you page on the same page. So this is a self-posting form. The user fills out the form because that's what they're going to see when they first come to the page. When they click the button, they're no longer going to see the form. What they're going to see is just the thank you. So I will go into this form and set that up. And it's fairly easy to do this. What I'm going to do is only show them this upper portion, not the form itself, if they have submitted the lower button. So I'm going to use a CF if, and I'm going to say is defined. And I will put my closing CF if underneath the form itself. So the entire form will be enclosed within this closing CF if. I'll set that back just a little bit. So my entire form and thank you portion is within a CF if. This is going to become the CF else, the form itself. Now what is it I'm going to test for? What I want to test for is have they submitted the form, and that is called book tour. So I can set this up. If there is a form variable, form dot, and I'll paste that in. If there's a form variable called book tour, they will see the thank you, and it will get pulled in the tour name that they have chosen. If it's not been submitted, then they'll see the form. I'll go ahead and save that, and let's take a look. I just plugged it in and I only see the form. Now let me take this out into Firefox just in case you're not aware of this very nice feature known as the Web Developer Toolbar. And this is available for the Chrome browser as well. And I have installed this little icon here to open it up. When you first install it, it's listed here. And this is a wonderful feature for working with forms, because if I click the Forms area and go down to Populate Form Fields, it populates the form for me. And the other interesting piece is if it's an email field, you get an email address pulled in. So I will populate that form so I can test it. I'll click Book a Tour, and now I only see the thank you portion. So my form is working correctly. And this particular feature within Firefox, if you do a search for Firefox Web Developer, you can install this as an add-on to Firefox. And just this feature alone is well worth it. Now what happens if I submit this form? And I'll close this one up and go back out one more time by clicking the green arrow. And if I submit this form without filling out any information, you can see I don't have full validation set up within this form. I didn't want to have to worry about that for this exercise. That is something I would want to set up as well. But I want to focus on the individual pieces within this, and what I've done is modified the code up at the top to call the query, using it as if it's an instance-based component. That is populating my drop-down for tour name. I've also set this up as a self-posting form, testing to see if they have submitted the form itself. If they have, they will see a thank you listing their tour name. If they have not, they will see the form itself. So that is our new submit form for the Booking a Tour area.